So how do you treat obesity? First off, it's a disease. We have to recognize it's a disease.
Stop pathologizing body size. Stop calling obesity a disease. Body size is not a disease. Just like being abnormally taller than average is not a disease.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Hey everybody, it's Tony with Big T Bariatric, and I'm back at you with another video. And today we're going to cover fat liberation hero FatSapphicBro, who seems to think that they have a master's degree in obesity. FatSapphicBro seems to think that fatphobia is more dangerous than obesity and rails on how many people are killed every single year by fatphobia. It even says that skinny people are killed by fatphobia. I don't get that, but we're going to get into it. But first, if you could do me a huge favor, please look down below and see if you're subscribed to my channel. And if you're not, hit that button for me. I greatly appreciate it. We are surging forward. We're getting close to 10,000 subscribers. So please help me get there. Help grow this channel by hitting that button. I greatly appreciate it. Like this video, leave a comment whether you agree or disagree with me. That's okay. I like having a conversation. Anyways, let's get right onto it.
This person says, and there's a massive difference between changing your diet / exercise to be healthy and trying to lose weight. Yes, exactly. And this is the problem. I talk about this all of the time. I say this all of the time, and people don't want to hear it. And they don't want to take it in, and they don't want to understand it. And it's very frustrating. Because I get a lot of troll comments about how I'm anti-exercise and anti-healthy eating, and I'm only promoting eating junk food, and I'm promoting never exercising, and I'm like, what the hell are y'all talking about? But they all assume that because I say intentional weight loss, that means I'm talking about healthy eating, exercise, healthy movement, etc.
So let me get this right. You're okay with healthy eating. You're okay with healthy movement and exercise. But if it results in intentional weight loss, then it's a bad thing. Let me tell you something. If you eat a lot of calories and then you decide that you're going to eat healthy, you are more likely to lose weight. That's just what happens naturally if you eat healthier foods. And if you start moving and exercising on top of it, you are more likely, even more than that, to start losing weight. So I don't get this whole intentional weight loss thing. Do you think that intentional weight loss is such a terrible thing that you decide that you want to lose weight, and so the way you're going to do it is through healthy eating? Or do you think that you can eat so many calories and still consider it healthy even though you're still big and gaining weight? If you eat so much food that you are not losing weight and you still consider it healthy, you're not really healthy eating. That's a lie that you're telling yourself, thinking that you're taking care of your body when in reality you're not. If you have an obesity problem and you are massively overweight and you want to help take care of yourself, then intentional weight loss is the way you're going to do it. And you're going to intentionally lose weight by eating healthy, by watching the calories, by exercising and moving around. That's the only way you're going to do it. There's nothing wrong with intentional weight loss. What is this whole problem that you have with weight loss? It's almost like you think weight loss is hiding under your bed and he's going to come out and scare you in the middle of the night.
How are you doing? Now watch. I can do that too. Now let's learn the breath. Oh, I can do that again. That's what
Like, come on, what's the big deal here? Why do you care if someone wants to intentionally lose weight? Why are you so against that? That's something I'll never understand about you.
Just a friendly reminder as we go into the new year and are bombarded by the diet industry, you do not need to lose weight. And there are ways that we can pursue our health goals this year that don't depend on a scale. Love you.
Yes, I personally understand how the weight loss industry ramps up at the beginning of the year. It's months and months of gluttony and eat as much as you can, and oh, you should feel crap about yourself for doing that. And then all these weight loss programs and gyms are going to start advertising to get people in the door. I understand that's how it works, and I've always called that out. I don't like that. It is what it is. But there's nothing wrong with wanting to signify that the beginning of a new year is an opportunity to look at what you've done to yourself over the past year. And if you've gained weight, and especially if you're getting to a dangerous weight, to decide that I want to do things differently this year and I want to focus on health. And FatSapphicBro says, well, you can target your health goals without looking at your weight. How is that possible? Unless you are healthy sized and you don't have a weight problem, then yeah, there are ways that you can eat better, eat cleaner, and getting rid of the processed garbage and junk food that we eat. Like, that is a huge step. You don't have to lose weight. You can't really target health without targeting your weight when you're big, because your size does affect your health. Just starting to eat a little more lettuce isn't going to fix the heart problem that's caused by your obesity. It's not going to help you breathe better because you have so much weight pressing down on your chest. You're not going to be less out of breath walking a few feet because you ate a couple pieces of lettuce. Like, that's not how it works. Your weight is causing a significant issue in your body. Your organs are being choked out by your fat, and that is a problem that you should fix if you want to be healthier in the new year. And just to show how ignorant FatSapphicBro is, I went through up and down their TikTok and I found all these messages throughout. Almost every single week was a message saying, it's time to check yourself. Do you need some food? Do you need some water? Do you need to take your medicine? Just pause for a moment and take care of yourself, which is admirable. I like that someone is looking out for other people and saying, I care about you. I want you to be healthy. I want you to make sure you're taking your meds and you're drinking your water, etc. Like, that's a good message. But when you're so against losing weight, that makes it hypocritical, because why wouldn't somebody want to look at themselves and say, you know what, I'm packing on the pounds here. I am not as healthy as I could be. My weight is causing a problem here. So maybe I should check myself and step on the scale and see if I'm getting bigger. And maybe there's something that I can do about that, which there absolutely is something you can do about it. You can lose weight. And when you lose weight, you will feel better about yourself. You will feel healthier. And you won't just feel healthier, you will actually be healthier. Like, there's a direct correlation here, which FatSapphicBro ignores and says isn't there, between health and weight. Yes, the scale does matter. It's not the end all. You could be gaining muscle and putting on pounds on the scale, but you're not going to gain hundreds of pounds of muscle. That's just absolutely ridiculous unless you're a bodybuilder. But there is a correlation between health and body size and the number on the scale. And if you keep getting bigger and bigger and you see that more and more fat is being deposited on your body, that's a problem. And it's going to 100% directly impact your health. So why you want people to check themselves and stay healthy and you act like you care about them, why do you fight so much against weight loss and you rail against intentional weight loss? Like, what is the big deal here? You can accidentally lose weight, according to FatSapphicBro, and that's the problem with all these fat activists. As soon as you decide you want to intentionally lose weight, that's the problem. You can be healthy, you can eat a little better, you can go to the gym and work out, but if you decide you want to intentionally lose weight because you know it'll help you feel better and you'll look better at the same time, then they'll disown you, which is absolutely ridiculous. So if you really care about somebody's health, you're going to sit down with them and say, you are gaining a lot of weight, and I could just tell by the way you're walking around differently, and you're out of breath easier, and you're starting to come down with more chronic health issues, and you're in pain a lot more, and you're doing a lot less because the weight is pressing down on your body and making it more difficult to do things, and you're in a lot more pain. Like, that's what somebody would say if you really cared about somebody. So to say you care about them and you want them to take their meds and eat and drink their water and all this stuff, but then to rail against intentional weight loss when they absolutely need to lose weight to feel better and to help their health is absolutely hypocritical.
Your health problems are not just blamed on your obesity or the amount of fat tissue that you...
So first of all, if you haven't watched that whole video that I just stitched, please go back and watch it. Second of all, to the creator of that video, thank you, thank you, thank you. Us fat creators who talk about fat liberation talk about this problem a lot, and we are constantly made fun of for it. There are constantly videos made about us, cringe compilations and hate videos and things, basically telling us we're full of it.
Well, you are full of it, but keep going, I'm listening.
But this is so very, very much a problem for fat folks. And it's so important that doctors understand this and that people talk about this. Because it isn't fair for us to have every single ailment blamed on our weight, on our body size. Especially for problems that started long after our body size became a thing.
I'm going to interject a little bit because this is a longer video, and so I just want to make sure that I get all the points here. First, to absolutely say that your fat tissue doesn't impact your health is a lie. There are countless studies that prove that the bigger you are, the more dangerous it is for your health. There's a direct correlation there. For FatSapphicBro to say that because all these ailments started popping up long after you've been overweight, and that proves somehow that your weight isn't causing them, is absolutely ridiculous. That's an ignorant statement to make. Because we talk about it all the time on this channel. You can get through a lot of your 20s when you're younger and your body can handle more, and not have too many complications due to obesity. There are people in their 20s who do die of heart attacks. There are people in their 20s who have to wear oxygen because they are so big it impacts their health that much. But if you're maybe just 100 pounds overweight, maybe you're a little active, you go to the gym, it's not going to be as impactful for you when you're younger. But that changes as you get older. Fat doesn't complicate your life right away. It comes on slowly. It takes its time. It starts choking out your organs little by little. Fat is inflammatory, so all those inflammation markers are released into your bloodstream. It takes time to impact your heart. It takes time to impact your lungs. It takes time to cause all these issues. It increases your risk of stroke and heart attack. And so to say that just because you didn't immediately start struggling under your weight doesn't mean that the problems that developed later on aren't a result of your obesity. Like I said, I went through most of my life being a fat kid. I didn't really have too many complications with it. Even in my 20s, I had doctors tell me that I was a skinny person in a fat person's body. But if I didn't start taking care of it right then, that I wouldn't make it to 40. And then the older I got, the more my blood pressure started to rise up. And the more I started to struggle. Then I got diagnosed with severe sleep apnea. And things continued to get worse. Then my body started breaking down as I progressed through my 30s. And now here I am, almost 40 next month, and my knees are completely shot. My back is completely shot. I'm having a difficult time with it because my body has been broken down by my size. And that's why I'm losing weight right now. Is because my fat on my body absolutely impacted my health. It didn't right away, but it takes time. Constant pressure over many years or even decades will cause and wreak havoc on your body. And you're not going to realize that right now, but the older you get, the worse it's going to be.
Medical fat phobia harms and kills fat people every day. And medical fat phobia harms and kills thin people every day. Because of fat phobia, it is assumed that thin people are inherently healthy because they are thin. So a lot of underlying health conditions, especially things like diabetes, go underdiagnosed in thinner people because it is just assumed that they are healthy based on their size.
What freaking doctor just assumes somebody is healthy because they're thin? If they go in for a checkup, they're going to have their blood pressure checked. They're going to have blood markers checked. They're going to have their blood sugar checked. Like, doctors just don't assume somebody is healthy when they come in to a doctor's appointment. That doesn't make sense whatsoever. And yeah, I understand medical fat phobia, whatever you want to call it, does occur. I agree with you there, but not at the degree that you think it does. Because if you go in with chronic pain, your doctor is going to say, well, if you try to lose some weight, it might ease some of that up. Because guess what? Extra weight on your body is going to cause chronic pain. Your body was not meant to carry that much weight, and so it causes all kinds of stress on your legs, on your knees, on your back, on your arms. It's just constant, and it hurts all the time. Pain is ultimately what drove me to decide to lose weight because I couldn't handle the pain anymore. Even sitting on my bed, my knees were killing me because of years and years of abuse to my body. But the funny thing here is that you're talking about how medical fat phobia is killing fat people and killing thin people. But what about obesity? It is much more dangerous than medical fat phobia. Obesity is killing way more people than anything else out there. More than cancer. Name a disease, name whatever, car accidents. So why are you only cherry picking your data and saying, okay, well, medical fat phobia is a problem, when it might be, but it's nowhere near the amount of deaths caused by obesity. If you are 100, 200, 300 pounds overweight and you keep gaining weight, a lot of your problems will be solved with weight loss. If you have high blood pressure, if you have diabetes, there are a lot of people who get weight loss surgery and their diabetes goes away. It goes into remission once they started losing weight. Obesity increases your risk of cancer. It increases your risk of your liver shutting down, which processes all the garbage that you're eating. Eventually, it just gets fatty and it stops working as good. It increases your risk of heart attacks and stroke and lung problems. If you get a cold or a flu, you're less likely to survive that when you're obese because your lungs can't handle it. You're more likely to die in your sleep because you have sleep apnea and you stop breathing hundreds of times per hour every single night. Like, all of these things happen because you're obese. And you don't think losing a little bit of weight can help you feel better? And again, I think it's a total lie that medical fat phobia is killing thin people because doctors just assume everything's fine because they're thin. No, a doctor is going to check everything if they come in for a checkup. And yes, some doctors miss some things. That's just part of being human. Doctors aren't perfect. But to assume that doctors are just gonna, thin people, we don't have to check. You're fine. Thank you for coming to see the doctor today. But you're totally fine because you're thin. We don't have to do a checkup on you today. Are you kidding me? How ridiculous are you being, FatSapphicBro?
Meanwhile, fat folks have their weight blamed for every single problem we have, and many fat folks will go years, sometimes decades, not getting diagnosed or treated for very serious medical problems because they are seen as a weight project, a weight loss project.
That's because you're in complete denial about what your weight is doing to your body. You don't want to walk into a doctor's office and have your doctor tell you that maybe you should start losing weight. So guess what? You don't go to the doctor. You don't want to hear that. It's just like why an alcoholic won't go to the doctor and have a doctor say, well, maybe if you stop drinking, maybe some of your problems will go away. You don't want to hear that, so you don't go to the doctor. That's not the doctor's fault. They've been going to medical school for many years. They've been seeing many patients, and they know that the fatter patients are more likely to be less healthy than the skinnier patients. So a doctor is going to be able to know which ailments, which things that you're dealing with could be relieved by weight loss. Maybe you're not able to sleep as much because you're not sleeping overnight. Maybe you're not getting a good enough sleep because you have severe sleep apnea. Maybe your liver is struggling because it's a fatty liver. Like, any of these things can cause any number of health issues. But the fact that you're in complete denial about it and you refuse to go see a doctor because you don't want to be a medical fat project, whatever that means, when all a doctor wants to do is just help you out. If something can be relieved by weight loss, then yeah, they're going to tell you that.
Instead of a whole human being who has something going on, weight is blamed and nothing else is looked at. The horror stories that I have had in my comments from fat folks who had their issues ignored to the point of losing vital organs, to the point of having extreme cancer that deteriorates and destroys their bodies because doctors only want to look at weight and weight loss before doing anything else to treat a fat person's ailments. And again, this harms thin people too, because thin people can't get treated or don't get treated for things that they could have. They don't get tested for things that they could have because it is just assumed that they couldn't possibly have those problems as a thin person. Medical fat phobia affects and harms every single person, and I really wish more people understood it. So again, thank you to the creator of this video, and please go watch that video if you didn't watch the whole thing.
I'm sorry, but your weight completely destroys and deteriorates your body. That's exactly what happened to my body. And the longer you stay obese, the worse it's going to be. And guess what? There's very, very little doctors can do if you're an obese patient. I've talked about it before. I need both my knees replaced. So I went to my doctor. I said, can I get an MRI, please? And she told me that I wouldn't be able to even fit in the MRI machine. She's done what she can to help me out, but there's very, very little she can actually do until I get smaller. So that's part of why I'm doing this, is because I'm in a lot of pain. So by losing weight, I've been relieving that pain little by little. But in order to get both my knees replaced, I'm going to need to lose enough weight that I can fit in an MRI machine to get my knees checked out. And so surgery is going to be less dangerous for me. Before I even had weight loss surgery, I had to make sure I was small enough so that I can survive the surgery. Like, here's the thing. When you're obese, you're less likely to survive surgery. You're less likely to respond to treatment. You're less likely to be able to handle certain procedures. So your doctor, again, is just looking out for you because your doctor knows that there are certain limitations to medical treatment. It's not because they hate you. It's not because of fatphobia. It's not because they want you to die. It's because they know the limitations of current medical science. And if you are several hundred pounds overweight, there is very little they can do for you until you lose weight. So if you want to fix those issues, then losing weight is going to be a part of it. Losing weight should be a comprehensive approach towards you gaining the treatment that you need. So to rail against that and to fight against it and say you don't need to lose weight is a huge problem. And that message that you're sending out there, FatSapphicBro, is killing people. It's killing people because they hear your nonsense and they say, oh, well, I don't need to lose weight. Then they can blame all their problems on society and fat-phobic medical doctors and all this stuff instead of getting the real treatment that they need because they don't want to lose weight. They don't want to face facts. So will losing weight solve all of your problems? Maybe not. There might not be some conditions that you have that are related to weight whatsoever. But I'm fairly certain that your weight exacerbates it, makes it worse, and could be relieved with some weight loss. Maybe not in 100% of circumstances, but most of the time the answer to that would be yes. Losing weight would help you out, would help you feel better, would help your overall health. Anyways, guys, that's my video for today. Let me know what you think down in the comments. I greatly appreciate it. Leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe if you have not done so. I'll see you guys next time. God bless you.